Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you guys have not been here before, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am really excited to make this video today because I recently got a new client and I'm doing an entire branding logo design package for them. So I wanted to show you guys how I approach this and how I take it from the very beginning, no brand, nothing, all the way into a beautiful brand with so much to go off of. So I'm very excited to show you guys how I do this. I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my custom illustrations, how I come up with the color palettes, and every single step of the process I take and the timeline of the things I do to create the perfect logo for my clients. So I'm very excited to show you guys this. This is actually a real life client of mine that I need to send the first few versions of the logo today. So this is real life and just one of my clients that I'm working for, and I'm very excited to show you guys the inner workings of bringing a brand to life. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, I would appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. But with that, let's hop into designing this logo. Okay guys, so the first thing I am doing for this brand is tracing some different leaf ideas, because I know that in their design questionnaire they filled out for me, they definitely wanted some sort of plant in the logo, and I like to do custom illustrations just to give them a bunch of different options, and then I have a bunch of things to play with when it comes to putting the whole logo together. And if you guys are curious, this app is Procreate on the iPad. You do have to pay for it, but it is so worth it. It's so fun to draw, and I just think having a custom logo is so special, and this just makes it way easier to do that. Okay, so now I jumped into just getting to creating. I don't like to sit and ponder exactly what I want to do for the logos. I sort of sketched it out on my notepad, so I'm doing some of the ideas I had from that right now, but I'm just kind of going for it. And I highly recommend just going for it, because when you overthink it, nothing gets done, and sometimes when you're not thinking, beautiful things can come from that. So I headed over to Creative Market to look at some different font ideas, which they have the most beautiful fonts. And a little trick I have, which I don't really recommend, but also I thought it was pretty smart. But what I do is I find like some different fonts I like, and instead of purchasing a bunch and not knowing what the client's gonna like, what I do is I actually just screenshot it and then pull it into Illustrator, and I actually image trace the font. I know that you need to purchase these fonts to use them, but when it comes to just the proofs and the original ideas, I feel like this is totally fine to do, because then you're not blowing a whole bunch of money and not using the fonts that you thought they would like. So this is a great way to kind of give them a little sneak peek, and then if they choose that, go purchase it and send them the font when they're done. But yeah, this is what I did. I just found a bunch of different serif fonts, because I knew they wanted a serif style font. They actually were very specific with that, and I loved that they were, because sometimes that's one of the hardest parts about logos, is figuring out, do they like sans serif, do they like serif, do they like script? So yeah, they like serif, which was awesome because I absolutely love serif fonts. So then I just got to designing this first logo for them. The first couple I was designing, I kind of know they're not gonna love them, but I was getting more into the zone and just getting to work. So I'm gonna kind of fast forward these next few minutes so you can see the flow of how I design. Things get a little messy because I like to design fast, but there's no right or wrong way to doing this. Okay, so this right here is all of the sketches I made on my iPad. You can save it as Photoshop, export it as EPS, bring it into Illustrator. You can image trace it if you want, or just play around with the EPS file. So I know things are moving fast now, but I didn't want this video to be super long. I'm just doing the image tracing of the font. So something I always include with my font package is a submark. And a lot of clients don't really know what a submark is, but I basically just explain to them that this is a mark they can use on collateral, on apparel, and it's just an easy way to quickly have recognition without having the entire large main logo. And they'll be surprised how often they actually use a small symbol. So if you explain it to them of why they need this and why it's important to have, most of the time they'll understand, but a lot of times they're going to be like, what is a submark? So just kind of explain it's a miniature version of your main logo that you can use on letterhead, business cards, apparel, whatever it is your heart desires. When I'm creating all these different initial concepts, I like to show quite a bit of variation in not only the fonts, but in the illustration that is on the logo, so that they're not seeing the same thing just like 4 times in a row, just placed differently. I like to give them very different options to choose from. So I know that they like this kind of crest idea, so I was playing with that for this version. And I actually loved this one. This one was like my favorite one when I was creating it, just because I felt like the leaf curved perfectly, and I kind of like the how I put the slanted, or my gosh, I can't talk. You guys know what I mean. But this one, I was hoping they'd love it, but I'm not gonna lie, this did not win. I submitted all of the concepts to them and they got back to me, and they actually liked versions 3 and 4, I believe. So the ones I'm currently working on the left side of the screen are the ones they loved. They just wanted to see more common houseplants as the illustration, so I ended up drawing a snake plant and a ZZ plant. So I'm playing with the snake plant idea for this one and just basically rearranging things a little bit and making it fit and flow perfectly. And then I pulled the ZZ plant from the Photoshop file and just image traced it so I could play with the colors. And I wasn't sure if they liked the circle or the crest yet, so I was going to send them both versions. I'm just playing around with warping the leaf, making sure that it curves with the circle, which can be a little bit tricky because you have to erase awkwardly, but when you get it to fit, it's always so satisfying. So I realized the stems were a little thick for the overall aesthetic, so I was just going through and erasing little bits of the stem and dragging it back in. I know there's an easier way to just update Illustrator with whatever you're doing on Photoshop, but I'm just stuck in my old habits, so I did it the harder way. But yeah, I was just kind of curving this on the crest, making it look nice and pretty. And I didn't like the way that looked like standing up, so I went back to Photoshop and just pulled one of the leaves from that little bouquet or whatever the stems I had. Guys, in order to keep this video at a decent length, I basically went through one other revision and this is the final one they chose. So I'm just showing you guys the EPS file, how I send them every single color from the color palette, and I export all of these as PNG, and I also give them the EPS file at the end. But yeah, I send them every single version of the logo in every single color from the color palette, so you never know which color they are going to use. And then this is just the Dropbox folder, what it looks like when I send it to them. So I have a file for their mood board, saved it as PNG and a PDF. And I always stress mood boards are important because it's a great way to set the stage for what exactly the brand is going to look like. And I feel like the logo fits perfectly in that mood board now. And I also include the color palette with the hex codes on there so that they can reference that and use that on social media, their website, whatever it is. And this is the font file that I ended up purchasing for them. And yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was so much to film my logo design process, and I'm very glad that it came out the way it did. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said before, if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me down below and I will get back to you guys. And other than that, I hope you guys are doing healthy, staying safe, and enjoying your life, because truly that's what's important. And you need to take care of yourself and make sure that you're doing okay before you focus on anything else. So I just wanted to send that reminder. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.